Welcome to Long Brothers Reviews, the show where sibling rivalry meets the cinema as two brothers rate and debate movies past, present, and coming soon. That's my brother Mike.
And that's my brother Todd. And today's movie is 10 Cloverfield Lane, starring John Goodman and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, directed by Dan Trachtenberg.
This week's order was decided by who has the most Lifetime Network shows stuck in his DVR right now, so that means, Mike, you're up first.
J.J. Abrams has established himself as the king of creative science fiction. He is Rod Serling for a younger generation without the literary aspirations, but he makes up for it in the coin of his own realm, technology. His films look real. On top of that, he's a master of rock-solid, never-indulgent storytelling. If something is in a J.J. Abrams movie, you can bet there's a reason for it. I start out telling you that about J.J. Abrams because I don't want to tell you much at all about 10 Cloverfield Lane. The less you know going in, the greater your enjoyment will be. If you
Free Shavakadu!
That's fine, too. This is a suspenseful picture in ways you will not expect for the genre. And it creates a lot of moments where you'll be squinting through your fingers at nothing more than people talking in a room. Let's also note that the first slam-bang performance of the year is from John Goodman. It's another typical rock-solid characterization from him, and it will be long forgotten by awards season, but let's enjoy it while we have it. It doesn't get any more spot on than his work here. Big thumbs up for 10 Cloverfield Lane in a year that is off to a great start at the movies.
Back in the 90s, I actually stopped reading movie reviews. And except for watching Siskel and Ebert from time to time when they were both still alive, I have stuck to that ever since. And there's a reason for it. It's because when Godfather 3 came out, I stumbled upon a copy of Life magazine that had Al Pacino on the cover as Michael Corleone. And I was a fan of it. I thought, well, I want to see this. And so I read it. 2 paragraphs in to that review, the author wrote, "In the end, he dies." And I thought, why would you do that? Here's a movie that people had waited for 20 years, and you give away the ending in the first 2 paragraphs. So I don't want to be that kind of reviewer, and because of that, all I'm going to say about 10 Cloverfield Lane is that it's suspenseful, it's well written. Like you said, John Goodman is just a joy to watch in this thing. I liked this movie a lot, and I really think you ought to go see it. And I don't want to say anything else, because like you said, you want to go into this movie cold. You don't want to know anything about it. And if you've watched this show in the past, you know that we spend a lot of time after this initial review portion talking about, well, here's something that didn't make sense, or here's the absent parents, or the gas tank that won't expire, or whatever the case may be. I don't even want to do that on this one, because while there are a couple of things that in retrospect I thought, well, I think the director might be assuming a little too much about the audience, I don't want to talk about them because they risk giving too much away. So other than saying that it was a fun time at the movies, a great movie to watch, and John Goodman, like you said, great performance that sadly will be an afterthought come Oscar time. All I'm saying about 10 Cloverfield Lane is go see it.
If we can talk about it without talking about the details.
I don't think we can.
And we really can't. I'll say a couple of things, and if I go over the line, of course, they'll be edited out and no one will see
I'll cut them out, yeah.
And one is that this picture should have been rated R.
No, I disagree with you.
Because it's so tense.
I took my 15-year-old son to see it. He had a good time.
I think it would have been fine for your 15-year-old son, but maybe not all of them.
And I told a friend of mine today who wanted to go see it and said, is it good for kids? And I said, I would stick with the PG-13 recommendation. But no, I don't think this was an R-rated worthy film. I disagree with you there.
I just found it so wonderfully stressful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was fun stressful.
And I have to say that there were little pieces here and there that I sort of put together as we were going.
Uh-huh.
And I won't say what they are, but you can imagine what they might have been, because you're trying to figure out what's true, what's not true. It's such a delight. The last time I had this much fun at a movie was the last Star Wars picture, and I enjoyed that for entirely different reasons.
Right.
But just sheer delight, it makes me want to go see it again tonight.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun time, and I saw it with my wife and my oldest, and my wife wanted to see it mostly because she's a big fan of John Goodman. And he does not disappoint. This is, I don't want to say it's out of character for him, because we've seen him play kind of offbeat, quirky characters in some Coen Brothers films where he's always delivered great performances. But this is John Goodman like I don't think you've seen him before.
This is enjoyable because it is what it is.
Yeah.
There's no posing. There's no meta. This is just, wait till you hear this story.
Yeah. I went back and thought about it after the fact, and I thought about, well, now that I know the whole story of the film, I know that I remember some things that the director did to maybe try and give subtle hints. But the thing was, they were really big assumptions on the director's part, and they were really kind of pointless to put them in, and more like Easter eggs to go back and look for after the fact.
I think the best way to summarize it is your feeling for most of this picture is, how could this be?
Yeah. What could the answer possibly be? And then when you get to the payoff at the end, you think, wow.
I'm going to throw one little cryptic clue out here,
Uh-huh.
and that is the only thing that would make this film more enjoyable.
Free Shavakadu!
Yes, and that was one of the things when I wrote this, I had it in my thing and I took it out because that gives away the ending.
Well, that's it for this episode of Long Brother Reviews. That's actually enough for this episode of Long Brothers Reviews. We've been talking for a half hour here. We're going to cut it down to 9 minutes. Thanks for watching. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter, or looking in your bedroom window at night to find out more, or to ask us about your favorite films, or just to look for life advice.
So until next time, that's my brother Mike.
And that's my brother Todd saying, no, don't open that door. You're going to get us all killed.